All right, let's just jump right in. Right now, in pretty much every industry out there, professionals are staring down this huge choice. Do we dive headfirst into generative AI and all its risks, or do we just ignore it and hope we don't get left in the dust? It's a question that's stirring up a ton of excitement, but also a whole lot of anxiety.
And that, right there, is the question in the advertising world today. It is a space that is absolutely buzzing with potential. Massive innovation could be right around the corner. But at the same time, there's this deep, humming fear about what this all means for creativity, for our workflows, and even for our jobs. Welcome to the Flow Tao Salon. What we do here is pretty simple. We take really deep, sometimes complex, academic research and we break it down into insights that you can actually use. And today, we are getting into some amazing new research that really unpacks these tensions around AI in the ad world.
So where are we getting all this from? Well, this whole explainer is based on a paper, fittingly titled To ChatGPT or Not to ChatGPT, which was published in the journal Business Horizons. It's a big collaboration between universities like Leicester, Edinburgh, and Cardiff. And what's really cool is that it's all built on detailed interviews with 48 actual advertising professionals. So this isn't just theory, it's grounded in what people are really experiencing.
The researchers use this really fascinating way of looking at the whole situation, the idea of a paradox. And it's honestly the perfect way to think about a technology that promises to solve all our problems while seemingly creating a bunch of new ones at the exact same time.
So what exactly is a paradox? Well, a researcher named M.W. Lewis put it perfectly. It's when you have two things that are contradictory but also totally connected. Think about your smartphone, right? It connects you to the entire planet, which is amazing, but it can also make you feel more alone than ever. Each of those ideas makes perfect sense by itself. It's when they happen at the same time that you feel that tension. And that is exactly what's going on with AI and advertising.
Okay, so the study first lays out 3 operational paradoxes. These are the contradictions that people are wrestling with in their actual day-to-day jobs. Let's break down that first one. So let's start with the first big tug of war, research. On one side, you have generative AI being celebrated as this unbelievable research assistant. Something that can process data like a superhero. But on the other side, it can be a huge roadblock that actually creates more problems than it solves.
So how does this actually look in practice? Well, on the plus side, AI can tear through gigantic piles of data to spot market trends or help you budget a new campaign, stuff that would take a person ages. But then there's the flip side. It can be so frustrating. It might be working with old data, or even worse, it can hallucinate, which means it literally just makes stuff up. And that means every single thing it spits out has to be carefully, painstakingly fact-checked.
And this gets to the very heart of the problem. As one ad professional in the study, Jonathan, said, "How does it know what's correct and not correct? It's not a human." That one simple question just nails the entire trust issue we're facing.
All right, the second paradox. This one hits even closer to home for advertisers. The big question is, can this tool actually spark real, genuine creativity, or does it just push us all toward a world of boring, generic, look-alike content?
As a creative partner, it can be amazing for brainstorming or just getting you past that dreaded writer's block. But because it's trained on everything that already exists, it has this tendency to just regurgitate what's already out there. And the big fear is, if everyone's using the same tool, are all the ads just going to start feeling, the same?
But here's where things get really clever. Some professionals are actually flipping this problem around. Take this quote from a creative named Frank. He uses ChatGPT as a measuring stick for mediocrity. If the AI suggests an idea he was already thinking of, he knows it's too obvious and he tosses it. He's using the tool to force himself to be more creative, to go beyond the easy answer. How smart is that?
The third operational paradox really gets into our workflow. GenAI is being sold to us as the ultimate productivity booster, right? The thing that's going to save us all countless hours. But is that really the whole story?
On the efficiency side, for sure. It can automate all those tedious tasks, writing first drafts of blog posts, social media captions, or those little pay-per-click headlines. But that saved time comes with a price. It creates new work, the endless fact-checking we talked about, the very real risk of leaking sensitive client data, or the potential for massive reputational damage if an AI-generated mistake goes live. These are not small things.
So beyond all the practical day-to-day stuff, the research uncovered a much deeper, more personal paradox. And this one is all about our professional identity and what our work even means anymore.
This creates this really profound psychological tension. On one hand, professionals feel superior to the machine. They have strategy, intuition, human connection. But on the other hand, they feel inferior when they see its raw speed and power. And that creates this deep anxiety about their own value and their role in the future.
And this quote from Kate, wow, it just says everything. The fear isn't just about being replaced, it's about being reduced. The real worry is that years of human expertise, of strategic thinking and emotional intelligence could get boiled down to just being a chatbot driver. So, with all of these contradictions and anxieties swirling around, what on earth are we supposed to do? Well, the great thing about this research is it doesn't just point out the problems, it actually proposes a clear strategy for how to handle them. The paper basically lays out two responses, kind of like a classic fight or flight situation. You can go with avoidance, the flight response, and just try to ignore AI. The researchers do not recommend this. The better path is confrontation, the fight response. That means you engage directly with all these tensions and figure out how to turn them into an advantage.
So what does confrontation actually look like? The research gives us a two-part toolkit. First, for all those day-to-day operational headaches, they suggest a contingency approach. Basically, don't use AI for everything. Figure out the right mix for your team, stay up to date on what's new, and get really good at writing prompts. Second, for that deeper human paradox, the solution is an ambidexterity approach. This is all about creating a true human-AI partnership. Let the AI handle the boring, repetitive stuff, which frees up the humans to focus on what we do best: high-level strategy, real creativity, and building client relationships.
Okay, so let's bring this all home. After digging through all of this, what's the big takeaway? The paper really boils it down to 3 crucial, actionable steps for anyone trying to lead a team through this.
First things first, you have to acknowledge the tensions. You can't fix a problem if you don't name it. Figure out where these paradoxes around research, creativity, efficiency are actually popping up in your own team's work. Second, you've got to be strategic. Don't just let this stuff happen to you. You have to actively choose your approach. Decide when and where AI is just a simple tool, and where you want to build that deeper human-machine partnership.
And third, and this is key, get tactical. Move from a big idea to actual, concrete actions. That means developing training, creating clear guidelines on how to use AI, and turning these tensions from something to be scared of into your team's unique competitive edge.
Which brings us to the final big question that this research leaves us with, a question every single one of us should be asking ourselves. As this technology keeps evolving, what's your role going to be? Are you going to be a machine supervisor, or are you going to be a truly human collaborator? It seems, for now at least, that choice is still up to us.